God!
Good morning, gamers.
Good morning, gamers.
Oh God, that was so loud on the capture.
You know what? It's fine.
It's not fine, actually. We're gonna get this away from you.
It's fine.
All right.
Normally it's even closer to me, but I'm feeling good today. I just ate some food, so I don't have to eat while we're talking today.
Fantastic, because we got something fun to talk about
We do
today.
got something fun to talk about. It's gonna be a good time.
This is the episode on
the inevitable episode.
The best series that ever exists, probably. Today we're talking about Super Smash Brothers. But despite the fact that it's some of our favorite games, I don't think we can talk about it alone. We're going to need some help.
Yeah, it's a big game.
Now, we actually invited a guest, but we're not actually sure where he went.
Yeah.
And
wait.
Well, what the hell? Hey, what?
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh my God. What are you... Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jonathan Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us for this special episode on Console Commanders Super Smash Brothers. Did you have to break our window, though?
Yes, I did have to break the window though.
Okay, that was a little extreme, but okay, thanks for letting us know. Thanks for...
I mean, grand entrance for this grand game, you know.
Okay, you would make an excellent point. Alright, so let's just hop into it, shall we?
Jump into it.
Let's just jump right into it.
Let's just jump right into it.
Philip DeFranco. So let's just start at the very beginning. Friends, what is your experience?
Very beginning?
The very beginning.
Of Smash?
Well, I was thinking of time and
space. We're all having fun as best friends.
I was thinking
the 90s or whatever it was.
The beginning of time and space, but since we're a little limited on, we can't go quite that long. We'll just do the beginning of Smash Brothers. So the very first one.
So I have a super faint memory of when I played Smash for the first time. It was definitely on. I remember being on the GameCube controller. I know that much. And I remember being really, really bad at it. I think it might have been Melee. I remember my main used to be Pichu, but or not Pichu, fucking Pikachu on the thing. But other than that, I don't really remember much from the first Smash game, or if that wasn't even the first Smash game, but early ones. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
Because I was a broke motherfucker.
I know the first game I played was Brawl, I believe.
Yeah,
Smash. Which, of course, I sucked at it at the time because it's like something new to me.
Yeah.
I played that from time to time whenever I went to my friend's house, but it wasn't like constantly to the point where I was good. And then I played Smash Wii U. Yeah. And my friends played it. I only played it when they wanted to play like the 8-player Smashes, because that's the only time they actually ever played it. It was chaotic, and I didn't understand what was going on because again I was new to it.
Yeah.
I played Melee once and I sucked ass, but then sorry, we're cutting that one. But then I played Ultimate, and that's the one where I actually played more. And surprisingly, I got decently well pretty fast, and it's my favorite one to play so far because there's like so many characters to choose from.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Even if I don't know how to play as some of the characters, I'm just like, this is still fun.
I, like most kids nowadays anyway, my first Smash Bros. Game was indeed Brawl. I played it at my neighbor's house a bunch of times. I also occasionally played Melee at their house, but that one, because I don't know why, I guess it was, older, and for kids, newer is better mentality. That's often the case with kids. So we occasionally play that, and I thought it was kind of cool because it's like, wow, it's an older Smash Bros. And for a long time, I kind of thought Melee was one of the first Smash Brothers. Well, it was technically, but I didn't know it wasn't the first Smash Brothers. And then pretty much just after Brawl came out, that was my first Smash Bros. Game I ever actually really played and got into. But the next one, Wii U and 3DS, I would say even with Ultimate out today, well, that's unfair because Wii U and 3DS are two games. But I guess even Wii U and 3DS individually are probably some of the most time I've devoted to any Smash Bros. Game. Because it came out right in the middle of high school, and I had a ton of free time because I was a lazy bloke with no job or anything.
No job, no aspirations.
No aspirations for life.
Just Smash.
I mean, I had theater and stuff, but even then it wasn't that bad, or it wasn't that busy, so I had a ton of time for Smash Bros. And, I fell in love. But no, gentlemen, we need to go all the way back to the beginning, to the very first Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64 in 1999.
Oh no.
Have you played it?
I played it once on the emulator.
I know it's supposed to be like, it wasn't advertised as like the super happy, like, yeah, play with your friends kind of thing, but no, it's just, you will get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, we are here to fuck up your shit.
Yeah. I played the original before actually, just once, and I was like, oh, this is super, like, why are my friends like...
Throw up the trailer of it.
Yeah, the trailer. They use the song "So Happy Together" in it, and they're all in mascot costumes and stuff. And
it was a fun intro though.
It's great. I am kind of annoyed that they didn't remake it for Ultimate, since Ultimate was right around I want to say the 20th anniversary of Smash Brothers. Is that right? It was really close because because Smash Brothers was 99 and Ultimate came out in late 2018. I almost wish they delayed it a month just so they could technically say it was 20 years. But also, I'm glad they didn't because the wait for Ultimate was unbearable.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
So basically, the general assessment we've come to is that you guys haven't really played the first one very much.
No, definitely not the N64 one.
We
the
could
only
play
things that I remember about the N64 were Zelda and Mario, but
no, that makes sense. So the first game, I mean, that was the big one with the introduction. We got, I'm gonna see if I can remember them off the top of my head. We got Mario, Link, Samus, Pikachu, Kirby, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, one more Fox. The original Core 8. There we go. That's who was the original 8 fighters, and then there were the 4 secret fighters in the form of these ones. I think I got a lot easier. Luigi, who was the very first. Congratulations, Luigi. You're the first clone fighter in the entire series. Although he's actually better than Mario.
Is that what the 99 looked like?
Yeah, that's a 99 one.
Yeah, so
Skylar just pulled up.
So we had Luigi, Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Captain Falcon, Ness, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu, and Jigglypuff.
With Luigi, Ness, Captain Falcon, and Jigglypuff all being the extra unlockable fighters. So not a lot to unlock in Smash Brothers, the original, but you know what?
Revolutionable for its time.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because that's the interesting thing about Smash Brothers that I wish more people sort of realized how special it was. Not just in the sense of nowadays people view Smash Brothers as amazing because it's the biggest video game crossover probably ever at this point. But what's interesting about it is it's one of the very few fighting games to more incorporate platforming mechanics into an actual game where you fight people. Like you have Street Fighter where you gotta learn combos and stuff, and you gotta get things right and get them locked into combos so you can keep beating them. But Smash Brothers is just, hey, here are your 4 special moves you can use whenever, your normal attacks, you can jump and stuff, get them off the screen however you do it. Here's some items maybe. You're absolutely right, Jonathan. It was absolutely kind of a revolution for its time because no fighting game was like that. And some fighting games have tried to replicate it, some of them not nearly successful. PlayStation also.
I was about to mention that. Let's not go off topic because I have a whole rant about that.
I've never played it, but I heard
played it before because it was free.
It's an idea.
And there's some characters that were broken. I remember I played this one character. You could just put someone in a grab loop over and over the entire time until you get your ultimate, and then you could just win that way.
That's annoying.
So,
but funny.
It was funny because me and my friend played it only to make each other mad.
Yeah, that's great.
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, Smash Brothers on the N64 pretty much just introduced everything we know. Well, almost everything we know about the series. There was classic mode where you fight, a certain pathway filled with enemies and stuff, various fighters and all that. It had the Metal Mario fight. I don't know why I always liked that because Metal Mario kind of had his own exclusive stage. I think it was called Meta Crystal 64 or something. And I wish you could play it in multiplayer, or hell, I even wish they brought it back in Ultimate just for a fun little, hey guys, remember this? And all that. But yeah, Metal Mario got his own stage. I'm trying to remember.
I mean, if Ultimate is the biggest Smash game since 64. I mean,
since any Smash.
Yeah, they might just put it in as like a DLC.
I would love it if they did. I don't. Well, the thing is, they just announced at the time of this recording, which is what day? Today's the 17th of September. Thank you. Not E3. The most recent Nintendo Direct, they announced because the Fighters DLC pack of the initial 5 fighters is about done. They've announced 4 of the 5 fighters being Joker, Hero from Dragon Quest.
I love Joker.
Banjo-Kazooie, Terry Bogard from I forgot what game, but it's like from an SNK franchise. And then there's one more, and they're like, oh, is that really it? It's like, wow, that's kind of sad, actually. Mm-hmm. And they're like, nah, we're going to make more. So they're going to make at least 3 more fighters, including the end of the first DLC pack. My hope is that they just do a whole nother DLC pack of 5 more fighters, which would be great, because it's a basic... This is why I like Nintendo, because their DLC system really makes sense. They make the game for you, and then they make more of the game after the game's initially released. You pay for the game, basically to get it day one in the way it is, and then you pay more money as they continue to add on to it. I don't need to over-explain it. They make more game, and you pay to get more of that game. And I love that that's the way they've been doing it with Smash Brothers since they started doing DLC and Wii U and 3DS.
And also, the soundtrack is beautiful.
Oh, the soundtrack! God, the soundtrack for Smash Brothers, especially in Ultimate, is just great because they remix so many good things. When they just bring in tracks from old games or whatever, it's just great.
Remix?
The one we can't talk about yet, because we need to talk about Melee first.
Oh,
we'll get to a certain Santa wearing skeleton soon. In the meantime,
that boy.
In the meantime, Super Smash Bros. Melee. It sounds like that might have been your first Smash Bros. Experience, Skylar.
I remember being on a GameCube.
Yeah, that was the one on GameCube.
I used to have a GameCube. Oh, I missed that thing.
Everybody
so much.
used to have a GameCube.
No, that was like my first console.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody seems to have inexplicably lost their GameCube.
Oh no,
in like a move or something.
No, my little sister, I believe, like my cousin or my little sister broke it. And it was so sad when I lost it.
You gotta kick that kid in the head at that point.
I was so sad because like I had so many good games on it, and then I was like,
played Shadow the Hedgehog on.
No,
and that's when I switched.
Talk about that game later.
That's whenever I switched over to PlayStation because it was like too hard.
It's a superior console.
Superior race. Wait, I can't say that.
You can't say
that. Regarding the new, let's talk about some of the new characters in Melee, because some of them are like some staples and some that people really have enjoyed up till this day that were sadly omitted in even Brawl and Smash 4. So for starters, Bowser and Peach finally joined Smash Brothers from the Mario series.
Joins the fight.
Bowser's great because he has the down B, which is the suicide bomb,
which everyone uses.
Oh yeah, and it wasn't until it's the side B that's the suicide bomb. My bad. The down B is just a stomp or something, or a butt stomp. But the side B is the one where he grabs your dude, the other character. He flips off, and if you spear him off the stage, the character would die first. So even if you're both at one stock, if Bowser grabs Mario and flings to the pit, you're done. Bowser's winning. But in future games, starting with 3DS and Wii U, they actually patched that out, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Because it's pretty cheap.
You die at the same time?
Yeah, no, Bowser dies first. It doesn't make sense, and it is still possible to get that person's KO, but if you need to have a stock advantage if you're going to make that work. Because even so, depending on the character's recovery, like Greninja or I think Olimar, they have pretty good recoveries. If you have a good enough recovery, you could even just flat out recover from that and not die at all. So they really did kind of nerf it, but probably for the sake of making sure it's not about cheapness, but that's okay. Who else? I'm trying to not talk about the clones. Ice Climbers. People freaked out when the Ice Climbers were not in Smash 4. Even though we'll get to why later. But the Ice Climbers, I never got the hang of them. Like, they seem like fun.
I played them a couple times in Ultimate, and they were pretty fun. But, I don't know, they're just not my type of fighter. Like, you guys know my type of fighter.
Yeah, you gotta sort of sync them up if you really want them to work well together.
I knew someone who used to make Ice Climbers. that bring me back memories.
With some PTSD memories.
Like, they always won. Also, I was very inexperienced, so...
let's see, who else? Zelda and Sheik, the first transformable character in Smash Bros.
I love playing as Sheik.
Yeah?
They're so fast.
Oh yeah, Sheik's great. I like that. And I kind of...
Zoom!
I think it's cool that they made it a transforming fighter, but back in the day, and again, this will get rectified in future installments, but I always kind of wish they were separate fighters, so like you could just kind of choose which one you want or whatever. And I know you could just not transform, but then Zelda and Sheik are both out one down B move, and they have fewer special moves than everybody. I don't know. I just always thought that was kind of iffy, but that's okay. They're still fun. You play Zelda at all, Jonathan?
Yeah, I've played a few of the games, and the ones I have, I really enjoyed.
I meant the character.
I'll
I
go
meant the
to
character, but also, you can talk about
I
this.
played. Oh no, I played Link and I played Zelda and Sheik before. Like I enjoyed playing. Link actually used to be my first main.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say for my second or third choice for a main, I would say.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I was gonna say, we should go through each game as we assess them and tell them and say to the audience who our mains would be. So let's backtrack to N64 real quick.
I never played N64.
But who would your main be of the characters on that roster?
Of the characters on that roster,
Yes. Like it's a
who's
hypothetical.
on
I'll go first.
I
while
would
you
say
look it up.
Pikachu.
Pikachu?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I would go Link.
just because I like the speed.
I'm a basic bitch, and because I love him so much and he's underrepresented in the series, I would always go with Luigi. Because the thing is, in Smash 64, he literally is just, even though he's a clone, he's effectively just a better Mario. He jumps higher than Mario, and I'm pretty sure he has all the same moves, maybe a little more traction than Mario, he's a little more slippery. But other than that, I mean, he's basically just a better Mario in that game. And I'm not very good at Smash 64 to begin with, but that's also because the controls are still pretty clunky nowadays. Like, for the time, they're great. For nowadays, especially when we have games like Melee and Ultimate, which are just dreams to control, it's kind of hard to go back to that one.
Yeah, the N64, the games for that did not age well.
Not terribly, but you know what? Some of them, like Ocarina of Time, were remade and made better. And Majora's Mask. And
Majora's Mask. I love that game.
we'll talk
Wanna
about
fight
we'll
right
talk
now?
about that another time. Let's get back to the Melee roster. So who else is new? Mewtwo made his big debut, and that's a fighter everyone was happy for.
See, I really wish I could have gotten good with Mewtwo, but I couldn't figure it out.
I always thought he was too floaty in Melee, ironically, because that's like the fastest game in the franchise. I always thought his jumps were just way too floaty, and it made it really hard for me to control his airtime. And I don't know, I just didn't enjoy him in Melee so much. Who else? Mr. Game & Watch. That's probably the question mark, because I feel like from Melee onward, Sakurai just kind of added characters for fun. One character per game that's just kind of for fun. For Melee, I think it was Mr. Game & Watch, because he didn't exist before Smash, and yet he's here now. And it's kind of odd, but you know what? He's kind of a fun fighter. I like that his down B is the RNG, or you have to pray to RNGesus to not be murdered by a number 9 or something.
Oh, dude.
But I also like how all the other numbers do have other effects, so it's not like it's useless. The only thing that's maybe useless is the 1, but even then it does a little damage. So
Yeah.
it's fun. I don't know. I love how people complain about Hero being RNG, and yet Game & Watch has been roaming around for years with down B being completely RNG.
Mr. Game & Watch is just such a delight to play. Like,
Oh no, he's so
silly.
fun. Like the animation's so fun. You're like, ooh, I fool.
Yeah, no, I agree. Game & Watch is a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he's just so silly.
Absolutely, he is. Who else is new? Oh, Marth, the first Fire Emblem representative. The Weeaboo tribe, rise up.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
So
we got the Weeaboo chief right here.
So no, the Weeaboo cop, Jonathan,
Oh,
right?
Weeaboo Cop for the next character for Smash.
Please. I mean, Meat Fighter's our thing. We can make it happen. We'll make it work.
Weeaboo cop anime and
Yeah, have you guys played of the dreaded, anime swordsman that some people dread in being in Smash Bros. Games at all?
Hey, you leave
I
my
said-
anime swordsman.
I didn't say
alone.
I didn't like them. I said some people dread them. Some
Well, you
people
know
don't
what?
care
Those
about
people are wrong.
them. Okay,
I
good for you.
Play most of the weeb characters.
Got
so.
That's why I love playing. It's like,
So the thing is about the roster is I didn't include all the new fighters yet, but that's because everyone else is a clone. And this is where like Melee really kind of got like I don't know. People say Melee was the best, but I look at the roster and I'm like, are you sure about that? Because let's look at all the clones in the game, and there's a lot. For Mario, we have Dr. Mario, and literally the only difference is I think Mario is a little faster than Dr. Mario, but Dr. Mario is a little bit stronger. Whatever. Luigi's back too, but he's actually kind of different from Mario.
he's his own thing.
Yeah, he's his own thing, so he's no longer really a clone. Ganondorf, for God knows what reason, is a clone of Captain Falcon, just a much slower
Is he
and stronger
really?
version. Yeah. I mean, here's how you can know, because on the roster screen, which I have pulled up right now, and I'll probably post in the video, you can see that the people that are clones
that's
are
pretty
right
much-
next to each other.
Man, that kind of just looks like Ganon with a helmet. Like if he
It
shaved.
does. If Ganon shaved, that'd be Captain Falcon. If he shaved those nasty sirens. For Fox, we have Falco, and honestly, I couldn't tell you the difference other than the blaster. The blasters are slightly different.
I mean, that's still a thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Like,
I
they're
think
basically just the same.
I don't
thing.
really know them super well in Ultimate or anything, but I think they're a little different now. I don't know. And for Link, we have Young Link. There's not much to say. Young Link has fire arrows, and that's about it, I think. Pikachu has Pichu. Or another. What did you say?
I said I love Young Link, but I realized I can't say that.
Oh, we have to cut that.
No, it's fine.
For sirens?
What? Pikachu, we have Pichu, or in other words, I like to call Pichu worse Pikachu, because I never understand how people play Pichu, because Pichu is just Pikachu, but he hurts himself in the confusion of trying to fight in Smash Brothers. It just never made sense to me.
Yeah, that's whatever.
And then for our boy, anime sword boy Marth, we have Roy. And Roy's our boy.
Roy's our boy.
Honestly, I think I do like Roy a little bit more than Marth. I don't really care for the sword fighters or the Fire Emblem characters that much, besides maybe... Oh, who is it? Besides Corrin. I like Corrin a lot. But other than Corrin in Smash 4 and onward, I think Roy is probably one of my favorites.
Dude, Roy is so fun to play as.
He is. The fun thing about Melee is that it added... it added a lot of things, but one of the things that was this side special move. So everyone has a fourth special move now. And that's what I was getting at earlier with Zelda and Sheik is, the down special for both of them is to transform into the other. So, everyone has an extra side special now. Mario has a cape. Luigi, for God knows what reason, becomes a friggin' missile. I thought that was a neat... And that's the kind of thing I sort of realized recently was that Melee is sort of set the foundation for Smash Bros. Games going forward, where basically it was like, here's a refined formula that's improved off the last game. Now, for future games, what you gotta do is just take it and run with it in some way. Put a fun twist on it. Make it nice and fun. Do it for the meme and such. It also added the adventure mode. Did you guys play much of the adventure mode in Smash Bros. Melee at all?
No, I didn't really do much of the story at all. I just kind of played it when I got the opportunity.
Yeah?
Just beating the shit out of people.
Okay.
Or as much as I could.
Yeah.
Because again, not really, I just played with other people.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
because I feel like that's the main thing with Smash. You don't really, unless you're super hardcore about it, you don't really play it for the story. You just
well, what story, right? Until Brawl anyway, there is no story. But yeah, no, I like the adventure mode because I feel it's one of the better adventure modes of the series. Granted, there's been a whole 3 of them, but still, I feel it's pretty good because it was sort of just it was kind of short and not super great. But you got to go through various worlds based off of other characters and stuff. Like, the first level was, set in the Mushroom Kingdom and stuff, and you fought Mario enemies. There was a Metroid level where you have to get to the center somehow, and then you have to escape the place in a minute, like in the original Metroid. And, the Zelda one's a big old maze temple thing. I thought it was actually really cool how they made adventure mode work in this game. Good on that. Oh, it also introduced event mode, which is basically just very specific fights you have to do. But, Smash Bros. Melee, I'll be honest though, I still think it's super overrated because, the problem is that I feel that Smash Brothers, at least 3DS and Wii U, are about as good, if not better, as Melee, and yet a lot of people are really like, Melee's the only good Smash Brothers game, and it makes me annoyed when people say that. So, I don't know how you guys feel, but I personally feel that Melee's a bit overrated, still very good, and I'll say it's probably my 3rd favorite Smash Brothers, but I think it's still a bit overrated in terms of how much everyone's like, it's the only good Smash Brother. Get off your high horse and just play Ultimate, all right? God damn.
You're right. So we got Brawl up next, right?
Oh boy.
For the Wii.
Oh boy.
Who do we got on the roster?
Let's begin with. Well, first of all, let's talk some of the cuts. So they cut a lot of, if not all of the clones. They did not cut all the clones, but they cut most of the clones from Melee. So, Young Link, Roy, who else? They didn't cut Falco. Falco's still here.
By the way,
Young Link, Roy.
I'm so mad that they cut Roy because I could have experienced him earlier.
Yeah, Roy's our boy. I don't have the pictures side by side, but I know they cut Young Link and Roy. Pichu, a worse Pikachu. They cut him. Who else? Ganondorf. They did not cut. I'm having trouble finding him on the... There he is. There's Ganondorf. They actually replaced Young Link with Toon Link, which I think was aesthetically a better idea. Because if you're going to make a clone of a character, you better make them, at least in a style different from the original that was the character. So Link in this game is no longer kind of like Ocarina of Time adult Link. He's more like Twilight Princess Link, which I think is a good change. I think it's good to kind of, especially for
Toilet Princess.
Toilet Princess Link, yeah. To keep updating the character and make them look like they're modern incarnations and such.
Mm-hmm.
And for Toon Link to represent another era of Zelda, I think that was a really good idea.
Yeah, because Wind Waker was awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm blanking at the moment. What other clone characters were cut? Because I thought there were more.
Mm-hmm.
Am I just crazy? We kept Ganondorf. Oh, Dr. Mario was cut. That's who too. Dr. Mario.
Really?
He was from Brawl, which is funny because there was apparently files for him in the game found by data miners, but I guess they just didn't know if they were gonna have time to implement him, which I guess they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Dr. Mario was cut. Ganondorf was not. Falco was not. Young Link was cut and replaced with Toon Link. Worst Pikachu was cut, and Roy was cut, as well as the weirdest cut in the game, Mewtwo, for no reason whatsoever, because people were kind of confused, myself included, because why would you cut an original fighter that's a representative of probably one of the most popular series on Earth, Pokemon and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are the cuts, but the good news is Brawl probably has some of the best additions to the series ever. Like, some of these fighter choices are really great. So
who do we got? Who's the big boys?
well, I'm looking in order of the list, or sort of the roster. I like how they organized the roster this time. Last time it was sort of like in lines and stuff, and they sort of clarified that the clone characters were next to each other. But here they just kind of put them more in columns, which is not really a big deal. But I thought that was nice to differentiate a little. First up, just on the list, we have Diddy Kong. And Diddy Kong's pretty fun. You know, he's a little monkey guy. I like his peanut popper. I like that if you hold it long enough, he explodes.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a cute little thing. Like, it's a good feature for the character. You have to be careful with him, but it's also adorable when you see it happen. Who else? Wario made his Smash Brothers debut.
Wario!
And I like that they put him in his WarioWare gear and sort of say he's from the WarioWare series, giving him a bit more of the personality, like not just saying he's just a spin-off of Mario, which he kind of is, but he's still kind of his own series at this point. I like that. We have Toon Link, who I touched on earlier. Basically, he has a couple different special moves in a way. Like, I think his side B boomerang is a bit different and all that. I don't remember anything else. He even has the same Final Smashes Link, which is Final Smashes. We'll talk about that in a minute. Who else? Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising.
You never learned how to read!
Yeah, he didn't. Wow, it's the funniest line ever. I'm laughing hard. Ha ha ha.
Are you?
Well, when you say it over and over again, it starts to lose its charm.
Do I detect salt?
No, never. Yeah, Pitt finally showed up from the depths of hell because he wasn't in a game since, I don't remember the year, but his last game was on the Game Boy. It was called Kid Icarus on Myths and Monsters. And before that, his last console game was just Kid Icarus on the NES. And that was, the 80s. So poor guy's been missing in action for a while. But they finally brought him back. And this game is sort of a let him to get his own game and hopefully, for the future, knock on wood, franchise moving forward on the Switch or something, because there's only one Kid Icarus game after the revival. But we'll see. It's cool that they brought him back, and that he looks like he kind of kept evolving. Like, he kept getting new games or something, and design updates and stuff. Kind of like Link almost, even though he had no new games. I just thought that was kind of a cool touch. We have Rob. This is, how I say there's the question mark character for every Smash Brothers. This is it. This is our question mark character, because why on earth is Rob here?
Why not?
Other than for fun.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, because he's weird. Two new Kirby characters, actually. We got Meta Knight, the most broken character in the game.
Yeah, that Meta Knight is ridiculous.
Granted, you have to know how to work him to break the game. I never got the hang of it, but I fully understand nowadays how badly he broke the game for everybody.
I had a friend who also learned how to use him, and it wasn't fun playing with him. I was like, what? Especially as an inexperienced player at the time, still, like, I would lose all the time, making me not want to play, because I was there to have fun, but like when I was like, I feel like I had no chance against that character.
Oh yeah, I get that. Let's see, King DDD, another Kirby character. He was just kind of ridiculous and hanging out there, but I think he's kind of fun. I like it. He's a heavier character, and he's got a couple extra jumps like Kirby. That's fun. Olimar, Pikmin makes its Smash Brothers debut.
Man, fuck Olimar.
I just don't... I mean, it's nothing against Olimar, I just really don't enjoy playing him. Especially in the newer games, because from Smash 3DS and Wii U onward, they restricted the number of Pikmin he has to like 3. He could pull up, I want to say 5 or 6 before, but for some reason in 3DS and Wii U and Ultimate, they brought it down to 3, I guess to try to balance him.
I mean, as they should.
But Olimar's, no offense to Olimar mains out there, but Olimar's kind of weak. Like, he doesn't have a lot of just raw strength in his attacks, so I don't know how they got away with that, but, I mean, hey, no one's really complaining, apparently, I guess.
Because you can do so much with the Pikmin, and if you get 6 of those guys, like...
Yeah.
What are we doing
here?
here?
I guess you have a point.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. Next we have Wolf, who, not much to say, he's a clone of Fox. Moving on. This is, I think a lot of people's favorite fighters.
No.
A lot of people's favorite fighter from the game was Pokemon Trainer. A lot of people.
That is Caveman's favorite.
Pokemon Trainer was fun to play as.
You guys like playing as Pokemon Trainer?
I mean, I would, like, if I was just, like, playing to have fun and not playing to, like, win.
He's my go-to when I just want to have fun. That's
okay.
If
I'm not, he's a good one to have fun with.
If I'm not like doing any tournaments, then I would choose Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, I always thought it was kind of cool, but I sort of had the same thing I have for Zelda and Sheik in the last game, and in this one too. It was like their down B is replacing the transformation. But I also think it's not as bad this time because you have 3 fighters to swap through, so you know you have 3 sets of special moves to work, or 3 incomplete sets of special moves to work with. I think it's sort of okay, but I also don't love transforming characters too much. But that's all right. Continuing Pokemon newcomers, we have Lucario replacing Mewtwo, sort of.
I loved Lucario.
Yeah.
I just loved the way he looked. Like, he was cool. I wasn't good with him, but I just liked playing as him. Because it was cool.
Lucario came and you're like, this dude's cool.
Exactly. Like, I don't know who this is, but I like him now. He's a cool dude. Let's see. So Roy was gone, but fortunately we got a new anime sword boy entering the arena. We have Ike, who is kind of fun. I like him a little more than Marth, maybe. I don't love his up B so much, but otherwise, his up B, but that slams him back down to Earth if you miss the ledge or whatever.
I think Ike is my 3rd main.
You think so?
Yes, because I know it was Link, my 1st main. My 2nd main, I think it was... I tried to go for Pokemon Trainer, but then I was like, And then I just started playing Ike, and surprisingly, people were like, hey, you're good with that character. And when you hear that, you start playing that character more.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And then next, he's a clone for me, probably. We have Lucas from the Mother series, because Nintendo refuses to bring Mother 3 over to the United States. But sure, bring the character over instead. Why not do it? I think he's cool. Between Ness and Lucas, I'd rather pick Ness only because Lucas is a little annoying, his voice. But literally otherwise, I will say...
I played some of the game on your console.
Yeah, I would say probably... I think it was Smash 4 onward, they made Lucas a bit stronger and a bit better as a character, and I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, here's the big one. Smash Bros. Brawl was also the first Smash Bros. Game to introduce third-party characters, meaning, for those who are stupid out there, characters who aren't from Nintendo franchises.
Give it to me. Say his name.
Snake?
Oh,
Snake? Snake! Yeah, Solid Snake was the first third-party character in Smash Brothers. It's so weird though, because he's just this military man in the middle of this happy-go-lucky Nintendo game with big-nosed plumbers and dinosaurs and giant apes and with ties and stuff.
This, I feel like, is where they decided, like, no, Smash Bros. Isn't going to be about having a good time with your friends anymore. Smash Bros. Is about fucking shit up.
Oh my god, yeah.
It is about almost ending friendships.
I mean, kind of. I just remembered that both Melee, I don't think the original was, but Melee and Brawl were both rated T. And I think Snake is to blame for the one in Brawl, because otherwise, I don't know why. I don't even know how Melee could be rated teen. Like, that's weird nowadays. I don't think Nintendo would be cool with that, because nowadays they really try to be a bit more open to everybody in terms of rating and stuff. But here's the funny thing.
Ratings changed a lot.
Well, here's the other thing. Snake and Bayonetta, of all people, are both in Ultimate, and Ultimate's E10+. How did
Give me those cheeks, man.
We'll talk about that later.
Give me those cheeks.
I really tried to like Snake. He's just kind of... in Brawl, I just had a bad time with him because I wasn't very good at figuring out his moves and stuff, but I think it was kind of cool to see him, really weird, kind of out-there character for Smash Brothers. And then, of course, ending the roster, we have everyone's favorite blue blur, Sonic the Hedgehog.
I hate you so much.
Who was definitely, I would say, my second main in Brawl. My first was still Luigi back in the days of playing Brawl, because back then I was still more Mario and Sonic fan.
Yeah.
I just realized we completely forgot to talk about who we would main in Melee. Let's go back to that real quick. Jonathan, who would you main in Melee?
What I would main in Melee?
Yeah.
Probably would have still been Link.
Okay.
I thought we talked about this because I said Pikachu.
No, that was for the original.
I wasn't for the 64. I thought we were talking about Melee. I said Pikachu.
Well, you know what? Just say just say Pikachu.
It stays Pikachu
For Melee.
up until when was my boy put?
Which one's your boy?
The
Cloud?
Yeah.
No, that's Smash 4. We're not there yet.
Smash 4.
We'll get there in a second. So Pikachu for Melee and Brawl. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be Pikachu for a while.
Yeah, Melee is also Luigi for me because he, again, for the most part, he's a better Mario, I think. Well, he's just a different Mario. I like his side beat, the green missile, a lot. I think that was really fun. And for Brawl, it was Luigi back in the day, but if I were to go back nowadays, it would be Sonic. Who would Skylar, yours would stay Pikachu, it seems.
I would either stay Pikachu or maybe do Link.
Because it would have been Marth, but then at the same time I was like, I didn't want to play Weep Swordsman because I wasn't a Weep back then.
Oh, not then though.
You were a dormant Weep.
Yeah, I had the gene stuck inside of me, and then it just
to unleash it.
It unleashed.
Oh my gosh. Well, great. And then, should we talk about the Subspace Emissary real quick? Have you guys played that?
Yes, I have played that a lot, so many times.
Skylar, and also the people at home who are unaware, the Subspace Emissary is the adventure mode to Smash Brothers Brawl, which is almost, honestly, an entire game in and of itself. It is long.
It is long.
Especially with the extra levels and characters to find, it is long. Long.
Yeah, I actually played that quite a lot more than fighting each other. Instead of that,
more than actual multiplayer.
Because I would go after school and my friends hey, let's play Subspace since my brother doesn't want to really play it. He just wants to play fighting all the time. I don't want to play it. So would you want to play with me? And I was like, sure. And then I liked it because it was just like teamwork.
Yeah, it felt more like it was like a cooperative platforming based game, and if they did it a little bit better, a little less bland, I think it could have made Brawl maybe one of the best Smash Bros. Games. But the problem for me with that game is, it goes way too long, especially the one and only Great Maze at the very end.
Oh, dude.
That just sucks the life out of you. I think the Great Maze is literally I want to say a quarter of the entire game up till that point, and it's the last big area you do. And granted, they give you pretty much all the characters if you save them from the subspace bubble or whatever, but God, it was just so...
Oh no!
It just went on to
that one character that doesn't show up till the very end.
Yeah, there's Sonic?
Yes.
Yeah, I love. Fun fact about that for those who don't know, and I don't know if that includes you guys, but Sonic was only in the adventure mode pretty much at the very end because of the fact that despite the fact he was supposed to be in Melee, even they were in talks about it, but they couldn't get it in time for launch. He was meant to be in Brawl, but it took so long to get that all finalized, they had to keep making the game without him. So that's why Sonic, for no reason, shows up at the very end just to fight Taboo. So it's essentially the video game's greatest cameo, Stan Lee-esque cameo appearance of Sonic just kind of appearing out of nowhere to help them fight Taboo. And back in the day, I would see, Sonic's here, cool. I'm gonna play as Luigi now because the man in green is nice and lean. But
don't say it like that.
I don't know. Subspace. It was. I would say it's better than Melee's adventure mode, but it's way too much compared to Melee's adventure mode. At least Melee was short and sweet, but Brawl was, at the very least, I don't think it was bad. And again, I'd rather go back to Subspace than Melee.
It was enjoyable still. I still had fun playing it. Yeah. Well, it's mostly because you're playing with your friends.
I was about to say, if you play with a friend, it's a lot more fun.
If
you're just playing by yourself, it's just
I couldn't play by myself, and I see why my friend didn't want to play it by himself.
Yeah, it's a good time with people. Maybe we should play it for the channel someday. Maybe. Who knows? That would be fun. If you
especially
Smash Brothers.
Since you haven't played it, Skylar, it would be brand new for you.
The concept was good.
Yeah, the concept was they were bringing all the Nintendo... I mean, you already have Smash Bros. Being amazing with all these characters together. Now take that and put them into one big adventure together. The idea's there, but the execution was a bit off. Good, but not great.
Yeah.
And I think that's Smash Bros. Brawl in general. There's a lot of great ideas in it, but since the gameplay itself is a lot slower than Melee in some places, and there's random tripping and stuff, I feel it's good, but I don't think it quite surpasses Melee. I think at its absolute best, it's about as good as Melee. Like, it didn't really make as many great strides forward, probably. Oh, they also brought in the stage builder. It was really limited and blocky, so I have nothing else to say about it. That's it. Let's move on. Smack. This is the one
that would make where just like people would trap you. And you wouldn't be able to escape.
It would just be blocks. Now let's talk about the one that I think it seems the three of us really played the ever living out of. Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, because they're the same game, but they're also not the same game.
I also like how you could just play on your 3DS.
Oh yeah, like the 3DS and Wii U, they really, back in 2011 when they announced they were making new Smash Bros. Games and nothing else about it, that was it. It's like, hey, we're making new Smash Bros. Alright, see you in 3 years. But they announced they were making new Smash Bros. Games, and they said they were going to make connectivity between the Wii U and 3DS version. They didn't really clarify what that was going to be, and at the end of the day, it wasn't really anything amazing, because it ended up being just a way to transfer custom fighters into the game, or from 3DS to Wii U and vice versa. And also, one feature I actually think is sort of underrated is if you have both Smash 3DS and Wii U, you can play on the Wii U version with a 3DS as a controller. And that's a really weird detail, and I love it so much.
And it was a weird detail, because like my friends would bring over their 3DS because they had it for
like, guys, you're playing the Wii U version.
Hey, I have the 3DS version, and you have the Wii U version. We could play it without like having to buy extra controllers.
Yeah, that's all. If you're gonna make both a portable title and a console one, like, that is just a smart idea. So that was good on them for that. But yeah, other than that, let's talk about this roster. This one, I would say this one probably has some of the most, well, besides maybe Ultimate. Ultimate really did kind of, do us all in. But at the time, Smash 4 had some of the most exciting newcomers. Starting with the least exciting one, Rosalina and Luma. I don't know, they're fun. I think they were mostly just kind of to replace Ice Climbers a little bit, because they couldn't get Ice Climbers working on both the 3DS and Wii U versions, because the 3DS's hardware was pretty inferior to, even not inferior to the Wii even, but it was less powerful than the Wii. So if they couldn't get Ice Climbers working on 3DS, it wasn't going to happen. And I can't imagine what 8-player Smash with Ice Climbers on the Wii U would have looked like. That could have been a nightmare. So I wish they had brought them back in some way. Honestly, maybe even just as one singular Ice Climber, but that might have been lame to people, so I guess it's better to go big or go home with that kind of thing. Rosalina and Luma are kind of neat. Luma is just an extension of Rosalina, so it's not quite a copy of Ice Climbers, but it's cute. I like that Mario Galaxy got some representation. That was nice of it. Bowser Jr., that was a fun new addition. I actually really like Bowser Jr. He's kind of fun.
He's really fun.
He's kind of a troll in the game, to be honest. He uses the clown car a lot, but I really love a lot of the moves he has. He's a cool guy. Little Mac, this one had people excited because Little Mac, like Pit until Brawl, he was another sort of neglected Nintendo franchise, and no one really remembered him. But they brought him back, and he is great on the ground, terrible in the air.
He's always been.
It makes sense though. That's a good distinction to give him. That he's great on the ground, but if anything with platforming, because Smash Bros. Has platforming, it is a platform fighting game after all. Then it makes sense to do this for him. This was the game. Now, partially, as I mentioned before, the 3DS and Wii U, more the 3DS really did have technical limitations, so they had to make some changes to fighters. And you know how I've been bitching about transforming fighters and stuff. Well, guess what they got rid of this game forward, sort of. Transforming fighters. Yeah, so Zelda and Sheik are now two separate fighters, and they both got a new down B to compensate. And I like this more. I don't care if they're technically the same person, and I think this was a good idea. Oh my god, I completely forgot about Zero Suit Samus in Brawl. Well, that's probably for a reason. She's not that amazing in Brawl. Now, in Smash 3DS and Wii U, she's her own separate fighter, and she's badass. I love playing Zero Suit Samus in Smash 4. They made her a bit tougher, gave her those rocket boots that people kind of got annoyed about because, I don't know, feminism or something. They were shaped like high heels, so I can understand it. But still, Zero Suit Samus is her own character now in her own Final Smash, and I thought it was really cool. She got a big upgrade in Smash 4, and I really liked that. For the Kid Icarus series, we have Lady Palutena, because of Kid Icarus Uprising. She's pretty fun. She was probably, not gonna lie, she's most likely the reason they made custom moves in the first place.
Right.
Because every other fighter seems to basically just have one move, and then the other custom moves, like Mario has a fireball. The other custom moves are, get this, a faster fireball and a bigger fireball. And those are the difference. Whereas Palutena, her side B could be either like a shot or something, it could be a laser, and then it could also be a reflector or something, and then her down B could be like a counter, it could be, I don't know, a black hole or something, I don't really remember off the top of my head. But she basically, for the most part, had 12 completely different moves that you could customize once you found the parts for it. That's something kind of annoying I'll talk about in a second. But she was kind of interesting for that. But other than that, even so, she's kind of a fun fighter. We also got, let's see, who's new? Robin. We got our boy Robin. Batman and Robin. Robin finally joins from the Batman series.
I can't wait.
Fire Emblem Awakening, same thing.
You see? Yeah, you got Robin in this one, and then you got Joker in the next one.
Exactly. See, literally,
two characters.
They're setting up the pieces. It's time for Batman to join Smash. I kind of liked Robin. It was cool that he was kind of a sword fighter, but not in the same vein as Marth and Ike. He wasn't just a clone or a copy. He was really more about magic and physicality.
I love Robin.
Robin's fun. Duck Hunt. Sorry, I have to clarify because even the announcer in the game has to clarify. Duck Hunt. Yeah, he has to clear it because you say that too fast, you're going to get some weird stuff on the internet. Yeah, I think Duck Hunt was kind of fun. Duck Hunt was fun though. He's a bit of a troll, but honestly, they brought him in from the Duck Hunt games, and I think it's really cute. He's kind of like Banjo-Kazooie almost, and he's got two little guys one little guy, one big guy hanging out. And I liked some of their moves and stuff. Really more projectile based, but it was a fun, new, cute little addition. So yeah, because there's no transforming fighters anymore, sadly Squirtle and Ivysaur both got cut from Smash Brothers. Yeah. But Charizard stayed, and they gave him a new down B, and I don't think anyone cares nearly as much as just having Pokemon Trainer there. Like, it was nice of them to try to compensate. But for starters, if you're going to commentate a transforming character, you got to bring back everyone. So you got to bring in Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard, and you got to give them all new moves and
then add Pokemon Trainer just by himself.
He just hangs out. He just hangs out in the background. That's it.
No. Add Pokemon Trainer individually by himself as a fighter with no Pokemon.
And no powers whatsoever. He's the joke character of the game. But
no Pokeballs.
Charizard was cool and all. He's all right, I guess. The new Pokemon for this game was Greninja from Pokemon X and Y. I think he's kind of cool. I like his substitute ability. It's essentially a glorified counter move, which a lot of people in Smash 4 specifically have counter moves. But I like his because, it's callback to Pokemon, and it's also, it's the little doll pops up, and then you just sort of flip around and do it. I also love his side B, actually. The one where he, sends his shadow over, and then if you let go, he warps to where the shadow is, and then you can get the drop on fighters. I thought that was pretty cool. Who else? Who else is new? We have the Villager. That was the first newcomer announced to Smash. You guys like Villager?
He's okay.
I like playing as him, but then sometimes
you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a very he's fun fighter. He's really about just kind of having fun. He's not super amazing, I don't think. But he's fun.
Fun.
I think the best thing about him was probably the memes that came from it, where he's the smiling face of death as he hits you with the bowling ball. The joke character, or not the joke character, the question mark character for this one is the Wii Fit Trainer.
Oh my god, yes!
Oh, dude, I love playing the Wii Fit Trainer just because I just make
the sun.
I just put talk in this certain voice and the power of Yoga could overcome anything.
Oh,
a missile coming straight for your face.
The memes that were made from Wii Fit Trainer were also amazing. Probably more fun than Villagers, not gonna lie, because they were always making puns on workouts and stuff, and getting people in shape and all that. I enjoyed her. I actually played. Forced my parents to try to play Smash Bros. At one point. And the only thing my stepdad kept yelling at me about was why Wii Fit Trainer was remotely a character. And I just told him to shut up and salute the sun. God, what a...
Salute the sun.
What a hater.
That sounds something like a cult would say. Salute the sun.
Salute the sun. Next we have Shulk from the Xenoblade Chronicles series.
I tried getting good with Shulk, and I almost got there, but then I gave up.
His big thing is that his down B lets him more or less amplify one of his stats, like speed or power and stuff, but then also detract one of his others, eye for an eye kind of thing.
And also people would just be wearing the shirtless.
Oh yeah, he had the shirtless outfit. Also, Zero Suit Samus had basically... I know the reference was originally, I think, Metroid Zero Mission or something. If you beat the game at a certain time, you'd see Samus in like what is it, a sports bra and booty short outfit. But let's be real,
Ooh.
that was basically that and Shulk were basically just fan service to the.
If you're gonna add a shirtless Shulk, just add a shirtless Luigi.
Well, actually, you're right. They should have done that from the beginning. Yeah, I'll mention him. Dr. Mario came back in this one, and that was basically because they had extra. Apparently, the deal with the other two clones too, Dr. Mario, Dark Pit, and Lucina, were all more or less. They were originally just alternate costumes for Mario, Pit, and Marth respectively. Mm-hmm. But because they had a little extra time, more or less, and they didn't have enough time to bring in new fighters. But they thought, hey, with these existing fighters, we could add 3 more clone fighters. And you know what? I appreciate that mentality, because I've always thought Smash Bros. Thrives when they try to get as many people and franchises in as possible. So while I would personally prefer we get, like, I don't know, Mewtwo back from the initial roster or whatever, making Dr. Mario out of Mario is a good call, and I like that. So Dr. Mario, Dark Pit, and Lucina, they're all clones of their respective counterparts. I mean, they're all fun. If you like Mario, Dr. Mario, you know, it'll work. It transfers. I think I personally prefer Dark Pit a little bit because I like his side B Electroshock a little bit more.
It's because you're edgy, bro.
Oh, I'm such an edgelord. Moving on to the big third party, well, the first big third party one, Pac-Man.
Oh, dude.
Hello.
Okay, yeah. I played a lot of Pac-Man just because he was fun to play
with my emotions with all the when you say third party. I get
well,
excited.
they had a couple third party characters.
I know they did.
We'll get to them.
You better say his fucking name too. You better drop his name with respect.
I guess he's not. Pac-Man was not the first third-party character, but
no. I'm not talking about Pac-Man. You know who I'm talking about.
I know.
You better drop his name with respect.
Well, not yet. He's later. But I'm just reading the roster in order for those at home who don't know. I'm off the Smash Brothers character select screen, so it's kind of a weird. That's another thing that actually bugs me about the game. The order of characters is so weird. Like, they have Yoshi in the middle of the Mario characters, even though Yoshi's considered to be from his own series. And then you have the clone fighters are all in their own separate category. And then by the time they released all the DLC fighters too, all 7 of them, they split off Pac-Man from the other 2 third-party characters that were part of the default roster. Yeah. And that's really annoying that they separated third-party characters. But it's whatever. I don't play Wii U much anymore. Next, our big boy, the first third-party character, and probably one of the most requested characters up until Smash 4, Mega Man. Our boy in blue, the Blue Bomber, super fighting robot, Mega Man. I really like Mega Man. I think it's fun that he has a lot of emphasis on projectiles and stuff. Did you guys try much of Mega Man?
Not really.
Wow, fascinating speech. Jonathan, you play much of Mega Man at all, or did you ever try to play
I tried to play Mega Man. I played him because, you know, I like watching Mega Man gameplay and stuff because, like, at the time, I didn't know emulators were a thing.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I just played him a lot. I wasn't good at him. He was like one of the characters you play a lot, but you're not good at.
Yeah, that's me with Mega Man too.
Which is like, now I'm like, then sometimes for no reason you're good at him for no reason, but like
they just get lucky.
Yeah,
like, you're just like, oh, this was a lucky match. But I enjoyed Mega Man a lot. It was a nice addition to the roster.
Yeah, and he was a big requested fan character. I mean, yeah, especially with third-party characters becoming a thing since Brawl, it was smart of them to bring him in. It was just a no-brainer.
Also, I just thought the animations they did with him, some of the moves are cute.
Oh yeah, no, the animations, we could talk about that real quick. The animations, for every new character they made for the game, they made stunning, amazing looking 3D animations for the characters, and they continue that trend with Ultimate, I think, for the most part too. Mm-hmm. And that was awesome because they just looked amazing, especially the reveal trailer and stuff. When Mega Man comes out and he's on this cliff and he's surrounded by moonlight, and then you see his helmet pop on, and then he jumps in screen.
Which was another revolutionary meme that came into existence.
Of course, is that a JoJo reference?
No,
but in any case,
there's actually a meme with.
I will say the other fun thing about Mega Man was that they actually was kind of like Palutena. The other custom moves for him were actually other powers from throughout the entire Mega Man series, and I think that even though some of them are a little similar, like Down B was originally the Leaf Shield, and then another one, it was just the Fire Skulls. I don't know how they were different, but I just like the detail that they were up from throughout the series, and that's what Smash Bros. Is really good with. And that's it for all the brand new fighters. Except it's not, because let's talk about some of the returning veterans who were cut. Mewtwo, Roy, and Lucas, come on down. because you're all back in this game. They were DLC
yes.
added in after the game's release.
Yes.
But yeah, Lucas was in Brawl, so he sort of got the cut, but also didn't. I don't know, but yeah, they all essentially got cut and then added in as DLC. They were the first 3 DLC fighters, and those were good choices because people wanted Mewtwo so badly. Lucas, I guess he was similar enough to Nets where it wouldn't be an issue to bring him back, and then Roy again was similar enough to Marth, but they made Roy a lot more distinct in Smash 4.
Roy's our boy, man.
Yeah, you liked Roy more in Smash 4 in any case?
Because like I don't know, it's like when I played more consistently and I started playing as Roy. Because I never really like at first I was like, oh, these characters don't look appealing to me, and then like I played Roy more consistently in 4, and I was like, he's actually pretty fun to play as.
Hey.
And then it's probably why I'm like really good with him in Ultimate.
Yeah.
Because I always play him because he's my favorite character to play.
Yeah. No, I think you got a lot more fun and a lot more distinct in this game. Then our first third-party DLC character from another fighting game altogether, Ryu from Street Fighter.
Yes.
I personally think that was. I don't play Street Fighter at all, but that was cool. And again, as I've said time and time again, my mentality for Smash Brothers is to just cram it with as much possible crossover of franchises as you can, because that's what it's known for at this point. Not just great gameplay, but also bringing so many series together. It's kind of like the Avengers of video games. It's bringing all these different characters and franchises all in one place and just bashing it out with one another.
Who's the Thanos?
It'd be taboo. I've thought about this, and it would be taboo.
It would be taboo.
Then we have
it's taboo to
Skylar, your boy.
He has arrived. Name with respect.
His name is of a fluffy white thing in the sky. Give it up for Final Fantasy VII's very own Cloud Strife.
Oh my god, I'm gonna claim my name.
You enjoyed when Cloud came out?
Bro, I love Cloud so much.
No, he was a great addition.
I love Final Fantasy. I love Cloud. It makes me want to cry.
Like, we could tell because you have a body pillow of Cloud.
Don't know. Shut up. No, don't say that. I know, but like, dead ass.
I'm actually serious
Cloud. I don't care. Like, fucking anime swordsman, you guys can yell at me all you want. I don't care.
No.
But Cloud is my boy. He's my favorite. He's so perfect.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. Of the quote-unquote anime sword boys, anime sword characters in Smash, I would say Cloud's probably my favorite because he's a lot more distinct than the Fire Emblem characters.
And I mean, I'm just
I like his limit meter.
The way that I like play Smash is I'm just better with swordsmen in general, like Link, fucking. I guess Joker, but not really. Like there's just that style.
Like a knife and gunner.
there's just something about the style and the way that they fight that I just like. I love it.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
No, I am also drawn towards sword characters.
You liked Cloud, Jonathan?
Yeah, Cloud's like my
discount gets a good
third favorite character to play as.
Really?
Yes.
Oh damn. Yeah.
I don't play him as a lot because also like I mostly just play Roy at this point.
Right.
Because mostly everyone I play with, they like to mess around. So I'm just like, fine, I'll just bring out someone.
Not gonna name drop.
I'm not gonna name drop.
Roy's our boy. Let's just remember that.
I'm just not gonna name
drop. Also,
Cloud is our baby boy.
That doesn't rhyme. Also, I apologize if it sounds like I've been talking way more than you guys. Please always cut me off if you got something to say.
We should just cut him off every second.
Yeah, just every time I speak now.
This is gonna.
That's a threat of life, and that's on recording now. So
no, I'm just gonna cut you.
We're going to jail. I'm gonna end this one.
How about we just edit this whole podcast where it's just us talking and like cut everything he's talking.
Let me be honest with you. It's gonna be like 10 minutes long if that's what we do because I've been talking a lot and I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, it's fine.
But I'm also
you're the fucking Nintendo bigwig.
That's true.
Bigwig in these parts.
That's true. And I'm also going through the trouble of reading off the roster list to you guys. With that said, let's move on to another anime swords boy, Corrin.
Oh, yes.
Corrin. I like Corrin. I know I just said of the anime swords boy, Cloud's my favorite, but Corrin's close competition.
Corrin's pretty fun.
Corrin's pretty unique, besides having a down counter. Other than that...
I tried to figure them out, but I mean, I had fun playing them, so it wasn't really a waste.
Oh, it's like the thing is people who spam counter usually get wrecked.
Wrecked.
Because you gotta time those things perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. I like Corrin's side B a lot. Yeah. Because you stick in the ground, you can just stay there, and then when you press in the direction you're facing, you just swoop in that direction to hit enemies. And I just thought that was actually really funny, honestly. That was good. And let's talk about the big final edition, the final DLC character for Smash for 3DS and Wii U, Bayonetta. How did they pull that off?
Oh!
She alone makes the game need to be M-rated. Like, jeez.
Well, I wouldn't say M because you don't see
teen.
You don't see her witch titties.
Let's just say they probably like magically put Bayonetta into where little kids could not see.
Well, yeah, you can actually see, according to her outfit, if you compare it to that from her games, it is a lot more censored. And also, there is, what is it? Her big thing was, in her original game, she would have these final climax attacks on big enemies, and she would pretty much get completely naked, and the only thing covering her was her magical hair power that would cover, the sensitive areas, let's say, the private areas. In Smash Brothers, both 3DS, Wii U, and also for Ultimate, she loses. Also for all of her hair attacks, she basically just loses a little bit of the clothing on her lower, around her shin and calf area. That's it. And then a little bit around her arms, but that's pretty much it. Like, they really heavily censored her. But you know what? Yeah. I'll take it if it means Bayonetta and Smash, because I love the Bayonetta games. Those games are just fun to the
I have not played Bayonetta.
You should definitely.
But I also haven't played a lot of Bayonetta and Smash series.
You haven't played Bayonetta, and I haven't played Bayonetta. It's amazing.
No, it's like I can't play Bayonetta until I play
Bayonetta.
Yeah. Oh, I also...
Mayonetta.
She just has mayo. So now, I completely forgot to mention the Mii fighters. They were a fun little addition, because I always thought Mii's, especially in the Wii era, were kind of an easy, come on guys, it's Mii, you make your own fighters. And apparently they were supposed to be in the Wii game in Brawl, but they cut them because they were scared people would, make Hitler online. And they weren't wrong, but it wasn't also
can't stop people,
nearly as bad as they think. People are just going to make funny-looking characters and funny-looking skeleton guys. We'll get to them in a minute. And for the most part, I think it was fun. They added Brawler, Sword Fighter, and Gunner types. Do you guys have a favorite out of those three, or did you play them all?
I would say Sword.
Really?
Yeah, my mains are all swordsmen.
Okay, yeah, surprisingly, my favorite Mii fighter wasn't the sword. It would be Brawler.
Oh, the Brawler type?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Brawler type. I think
for some reason, it just, I was like, ooh, most of the characters that I play, RPG-wise, were, Brawlers for some reason. Because I like sword characters in fighting games, but I myself personally wouldn't see myself using a sword.
Got it.
So whenever I played Mii, it's mostly a representation of yourself. I see myself more as a brawler than a swordsman.
Yeah, that's what I did. Even although for the sake of having a brawler one of each type, because I want to play as every character that's available in the game, I did make a brawler, sword fighter, and gunner type of my Mii, just so I could say, hey, I do have every type of character. But yeah, I always tended to go more towards the brawler character. The gunner a little more in recent times, but we'll talk about that.
That's because you're in Mario and Sonic.
Okay, well you don't need to insult me. Also, I was gonna say, what else should we talk about on Wii U and 3DS version? But there's really not much. I like a lot of the new stages and stuff. But the sad thing about the Wii U and 3DS version is they didn't add a ton. There was Smash Run on 3DS, which was basically like Kirby Air Ride, the city trial mode, where you run around, build up power, and then face off at the end. It was neat, but it could have been expanded more. And then on the Wii U, there was Smash Tour, which is like Mario Party and Smash Brothers if it had a terrible child that probably needed to be put out of its misery. I thought, I don't know, it was just kind of a very unrealized opportunity for a fun party mode of Smash Brothers. It's really only the game you play where if you play with 3 other friends who are all really good at Smash and can play pretty much any random fighter, because that's what would happen. You would just get random fighters across the board. Randomly, you'd be thrown into battles and stuff, and trophies and assist items and stuff. Mm-hmm. It could have been done better, but it wasn't.
I totally forgot about that game.
Yeah, no, most people did. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah.
But you just mentioned it, and I was like, oh, okay, that bring me flashbacks.
So now before we move on to the big one, so your main for Smash 3DS and Wii U, who would it be? Cloud.
Hands down, Cloud.
Roy's our boy.
Roy's our boy.
For me, this was the one where I really headed towards Sonic, even though I think I'm actually a little bit better with Mario. I personally enjoy playing as Sonic a lot more. I think I just enjoy it. But Bayonetta is a close second, to be honest. Mario in third. So now, boys, this is the big one. This is the one where everything just kind of went off the rails, and Sakurai said anyone can join Smash Brothers. Shall we talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yes.
All right,
We have
let's
to.
let's start with the Echo Fighters real quick because I kind of like to talk about those.
Yeah.
For the Echo Fighters, I have the roster list pulled up. I'm just going to go in order of who I see. We have Dark Samus, or Samus, of course. We have Daisy for Princess Peach, obviously. Who else? Oh, Pichu returned. He's basically an Echo Fighter of Pikachu. Don't lie to yourself. Let's see. Who else? Young Link was brought back from Melee as well.
Yeah.
And I'm glad.
They brought everybody back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the gimmick of Ultimate. You just jump with the gun here. They brought everyone back. Everyone from Smash 1. They don't call it that. From the original. The whole gang's here. Everyone was back from all previous Smash Bros. Games, even the people that people thought would never come back, because Snake was, we forgot to mention, was omitted from Smash 4 overall. And probably because Konami wasn't really supporting Nintendo a lot during the Wii U 3DS era.
Yep.
Besides one port of Metal Gear Solid 3 on 3DS, which I heard was okay at best. Like, they didn't support Nintendo, so Nintendo likely didn't want Snake to be. They're probably like, fine, you can't be in Smash now. That makes Sonic officially the longest-running third-party veteran in the franchise, in the Smash Bros. Franchise. Next on the clones, or Echoes, sorry, they officially call them Echo Fighters now because they're sort of acknowledging that they're more or less rip-offs of existing characters. For Roy, we have Chrom, who a lot of people were really hoping and expecting to be in Smash 4, but he was not in it. He was only as Robin's Final Smash. And yet, in Smash Ultimate, he's still part of Robin's Final Smash, which is really weird. Especially if you're using Smash on Chrom. But okay, whatever.
Chrom's like, you know what? There can only be one of me.
There can only be one, yeah. Pokemon Trainer returns, so Charizard, Ivysaur, and Squirtle are all together again, and I couldn't be more okay with it. Who else came back who was cut? Wolf is back. Wolf is here. He's a little bit less of an Echo Fighter now. In fact, I think he's pretty original now. But that's about it. Let's see. I think that's about it for all the cut fighters who were brought back. So now we can talk about the new ones.
What's the Ice Climbers?
Oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, poor guys.
Yeah,
they were cut from the 3DS and Wii U game, and I forgot about them. Ice Climbers returned. Cool. So the new fighters. The first fighter who was announced was Inkling, and that was a no shit kind of thing because the Splatoon was taking off. Especially with Splatoon 2, it was really taking off at that time, and it would just seem silly not to include Splatoon in some way. Mm-hmm. So I thought that would be silly.
Inkling.
I don't know if you played much of Inkling, but Inkling's a lot of fun, honestly.
I never really had any experiences with Splatoon other than the pedophile that I used to work at with Walmart was obsessed with Splatoon.
Whoa, what?
Yo, dude,
I told you about this.
I did not
I don't remember this.
So there was this dude at
I regret saying that.
Yeah, no, there was this dude at this Walmart that I worked at. He was like balding, and he was like 20 something. He was real young. He was balding, and he had like really really dry ass skin. It was disgusting. But he was talking about how excited he was for the new Splatoon game. And then there was one day that like he was working, and then he went in the back, and he never came back, and he said, "Yeah, he got arrested." I said, "For what?" He said, because he was a fucking pedophile apparently. He was some dude that lived with his mom and at like 20 something. Not to say that that's bad, but he was just weird.
That's kind of horrifying. All right.
Which is why I'm convinced only people that
reminds me of that
Splatoon.
meme with the dude Splatoon. He's like, dude, I never looked at Splatoon hentai, and he's like, dude, you know they're kids, right? He's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
that's why I'm convinced that almost everybody that plays Splatoon is a pervert. They're either a child or a pervert.
That's not true. Well, actually, I'm a child at heart, so that explains
exactly.
a lot.
So you're either a child or a pervert.
I'm definitely not a pervert. So yeah, I don't know. I like that they somehow. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they kept the ink sort of refilling mechanic of Splatoon, where you dunk or you swim through the ink to refill your thing. Mm-hmm. I didn't think they were going to keep that, but I was actually kind of surprised they did. So I'm glad they did that. It was very cool.
What do we got next on the roster?
Next up is another big requested. Oh, pun not intended. Big requested character for Smash 4. We have our boy Ridley from the Metroid series, because the excuse was always that Sakurai said, quote, he was too big for Smash. And it was very silly of him to say that, but it's okay. Ridley's in Smash now, and dude is lethal. I love Ridley.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Like, if you get good at Ridley, you're that's it. Like, you're done.
You're done,
yeah.
son.
Especially his down B, which like pretty much cripples people completely. Like it's kind of shocking, honestly.
It's so fun to use that sometimes when you learn it, because then like the whole screen is like shh.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's another thing I love about that. Next, we have both a new fighter and a new Echo fighter, as well as a new franchise joining the Smash.
Mm-hmm.
We have Simon and Richter Belmont from the Castlevania series, and that was actually really fun. I've never really played Castlevania. I played 2 seconds of the original, and that's it. But for the sake
Vampire
of
Hunters, that's all you really.
yeah, I know what happens in the games. I just never played them. I think it's really cool that they got a big third party franchise like that in with Smash Brothers. That was
Die,
really cool.
monster.
You don't belong here. Or no, it's Be Gone, monster.
Sure,
You
oh, yeah,
don't belong here.
I like saying die, monster.
I personally prefer playing as Richter only because I think it's just
Same thing.
yeah, I know. I just between the two, I have a preference. And kind of like with Peach and Daisy, I prefer Daisy because Peach is a little more annoying. I don't know. I like Mario. I like playing as Richter just because I like his outfit more in general. And I don't know. Simon's a little weird looking, but it's fine. Next big newcomer, King K. Rool, which was another one people didn't think was going to make it because, old Donkey Kong Country games, Nintendo just kind of pretends those don't exist anymore unless they're re-releasing them for more money.
Interesting.
That was cool, and the whole trailer leading up to it
that was great, especially like the...
K. Rool is such a just a fun fighter. His up B is crazy. He just little propeller, just all the way up to the top of the stage again. I like that for his side B. He quickly puts on a captain's hat and immediately takes it off as soon as he's done. It's the little details that make Smash Bros. Great. Next one we have sort of an Echo fighter. I don't know. I've heard people on and off about if this one's an Echo fighter or not. We have Isabelle from the Animal Crossing series. It's tricky because some of her side specials or not side specials, some of her special attacks are just straight up different from villagers. But other times, like her grab and stuff, or not her grab, certain items and things she does, like her pocket ability is ripped right from villagers. So I want to say, give the benefit of the doubt and say Isabelle's not an Echo fighter, but she's sort of close to being one. She's just not super distinct. And then the last newcomer of the main roster, of the default roster, is Incineroar, our wrestling boy in red and black. It sounds like I'm describing Spider-Man.
And then you could make him Big Cat.
Big Cat. You can make him Big the Cat. He has the Big the Cat color scheme of purple and white. It's great. Why is it Big the Cat a fighter? You know what? They knew what they were doing when they made it because in the spirit mode of the game, which we can talk about briefly in a second, in the spirit mode of the game, there is a fight against Big the Cat spirit, and it's Incineroar with the purple and white skin. So they knew what they were doing-ish. But a little bit, maybe knew what they were doing. But that's it for all the default roster newcomers and such. And then we have DLC, which is going to be, I think, the lifeblood of Smash Bros. Ultimate for the next couple of years. First up is the character everyone was asking for, the one and the only Piranha Plant.
That was
the weirdest announcement. By the way, that's the question mark character for this game.
No, that caught me way off guard.
Yeah,
I think what?
He was a couple months after, but I'm willing to give it a pass and say the question mark character was the first DLC character of Piranha Plant. I personally,
You guys want Waluigi? No, you get Piranha Plant.
Piranha Plant is fun though. I will not deny that. And they brought back PD Piranha instead of PD Piranha's not a boss battle in the game, even though they brought back most boss battles from Brawl. But PD Piranha comes back as a final smash, and I love that. You can get.
I love the victory animations for Piranha Plant.
Oh yeah, Piranha Plant has surprisingly a huge amount of character in the game, despite not having any features besides a mouth, and that's it. I think it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The next fighter, I don't know why I'm bothering to look at my phone because I don't have any pulled up at the moment. The next fighter is one Jonathan was fairly excited for. It's our boy Joker from Persona 5.
Persona.
Oh my gosh!
You'll never see it coming.
Like, that when I first saw that trailer for Joker come out, I was like, no way.
You didn't think it was possible?
No, because like it's like normal way. Like you're like hyped about it. I remember I was so happy. I was just waiting, and then like when I first saw it, I didn't expect it to be for Smash.
Right, you just thought it was for like
I was like,
Persona 5
so
port on
some-
Switch
like-
or something.
Like I thought that, yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. They're bringing it to the Switch, and then I saw this like the letter, and I was like,
The Smash envelope.
I was like, oh my gosh, they did not just do this to me.
Smash invitation.
I will say, by the way, going back to Smash 4 even, because that was in the Villager reveal trailer for Smash 3DS and Wii U, I love that that's apparently like a canon thing in the Smash Bros. Universe, is they're literally invited by little envelopes that have the Smash Brothers stamp on them. I think that's actually one of like the coolest yet cutest I guess features or continuity things in Smash
Like, I
Bros.
love the stage they made for
Oh, the what's it called again?
Mementos.
Mementos. Thank you. I love it changes
And
with
like
each
song,
the color. That's a really
it's like the soundtracks. Like each color is for a different Persona game, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
I die for that game.
Next on the DLC romp is Hero from Dragon Quest.
Hero.
11, I believe, technically. Well, they say Dragon Quest 11, but the truth of the matter is that Hero has a bunch of skins from, I think, a couple other Dragon Quest games, like 3, 4, and 7 or something. I'm going off the top of my head. I know one of them is 4, but it's funny that they refer to him as the Dragon Quest Hero from Dragon Quest 11.
Hero.
The community really does kind of hate Hero, though, because his down B is so random. Unfortunately, I kind of love it. As I was saying earlier, Game & Watch has been doing it for years, but now with Hero, because you can randomly get Kamikaze or whatever. I love that Kamikaze is an actual thing you can do in an actual licensed Smash Brothers game. It's great. You Kamikaze people.
The reason why I don't like him, well, it's not like I don't like him as a character. I just haven't gotten used to the mechanic because then like I have to like press down B and try to like figure out what I want to use.
Work a menu while you're doing it.
And I'm just like, that distracts me from what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because usually I'm more like a simple person. I like realize.
I feel that could have been done a little bit better. In fact, you know what would have been interesting is I know they want to make it playable for people who are playing even with a single Joy-Con, but maybe for people who have like a dual stick setup, so pretty much anyone who really wants to play Smash Bros. Well, they could have it so you can still move with the left stick, but you use the right stick or something to select your thing. It would still be kind of confusing and take you away from the action, but I think that could make a good workaround.
My only problem is like when I'm doing it, I have to focus on moving it down instead of moving.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I didn't get into Hero super much, but I still am glad that Dragon Quest has a representative in the series. The big one, I would say, I don't know. I think Joker was the most surprising announcement until this one. Our boys back from Rare's tomb or whatever, Banjo and Kazooie are actually in Smash Brothers. And while I'm not a Banjo Kazooie fan, I was really excited to see this announcement last E3.
Not gotten the chance to play.
Good news. I have a Nintendo Switch. We should play it sometime.
Alright.
I'll tell you now, Banjo Kazooie are pretty fun. Their side B is like a charging move that literally nothing can stop, and they only have 5 per stock, so it's limited. But literally nothing can stop it at this point, it seems, and it's actually super cool. They have a couple projectile-based weapons. I love that. They're just a lot of fun. They also have a couple extra jumps because Kazooie helps out and helps Banjo off his feet a little bit. But literally, just the best thing about it is that the Banjo Kazooie series is sort of resurrected. I mean, look, Mega Man came back from the ashes not immediately after, but eventually came back after his inclusion in Smash Brothers 4.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say Mega Mind.
Mega Mind made a resurgence recently. God, I would love a new Mega Mind.
It kind of has though.
Those movies
memes
are great. The memes are great. Mega Mind's amazing. He should be in Smash. I'm gonna make a me that's Mega Mind and put it. But yeah, Banjo Kazooie are a lot of fun. I've been trying to play them more recently. I'm actually replaying World of Light on the New Game Plus because I'm waste of life and have nothing better to do. And I've been getting a little better at them. They're kind of fun. I like them. I want to get better at Banjo Kazooie, and I'm just glad that they're finally here, performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Sorry, we'll do the DK rap another time.
We can.
And then one more fighter who's been announced so far, who isn't released yet. He's coming out in November of this year. Terry Bogard from the Fatal Fury series, right? Is that the series? Jonathan?
I think so. I think it's King of...
Sorry, you would know better than I would.
King of Fighters? Fatal Fury, I think.
I think it's Fatal Fury. I'm trying to read this very low quality thumbnail here. Yeah, it's Fatal Fury.
Fatal Fury, I think that's the thing.
Have you played that one a little bit?
I played it like a few times.
Okay.
I remember just playing it like with my homies back in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, any thoughts on Oh, sorry. You got any thoughts on Terry coming to Smash Brothers?
Honestly, I was a bit surprised by that, actually.
Yeah.
I was just like, because it's one of the ones I actually didn't expect to show up either.
Yeah.
Like, it just caught me off guard, because like right after Banjo, I'm like, oh, that's cool, and then I saw that one, I was like, ooh, this is nice.
Yeah.
And I'm actually want to play as him already, but as it came out,
Well, don't worry. When November rolls around,
it has to be November.
I'll bring my Switch by.
Let's
We're
time
gonna
skip.
get going.
Let's time skip.
Time travel?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't quite figured out the quantum physics of that yet, but I can.
Let's pull off a time heist.
Time heist to go into the future, steal future DLC, and bring it back to 2 months in the past.
So when it comes out, we're so good with the character, we're confused.
Or we could just wait, But okay, fine.
That's too long. That's like.
Yeah, that's okay, sure. But this
Like a year
roster, I have not done the tally yet. But in the meantime, Jonathan,
About one thing.
do you want to talk about that first trailer?
Oh, the first trailer was beautiful.
You loved it.
Yes.
For Ultimate?
Yes.
Mhm.
That trailer, like when I first saw it, it was just like.
That was the one with it was just the Smash Bros. Symbol as like a sun.
Oh wait, yeah, that was technically the first.
No, that was the
trailer.
first
That was
trailer,
like the
yeah.
teaser trailer though.
The
Jonathan,
teaser trailer.
And then you had
but-
you had Link that just fucking staring down the Splatoon girl. Is like, yeah, I'm fucking back.
I'm
baby.
coming for you.
I will fucking kill you.
You will die.
Everyone was
Kirby
just standing
and
there, and I was just like, this is just beautiful, because you just see everyone there,
Mm-hmm. And then everybody gets fucking
obliterated, and it was just such a nice trailer, because like you were like, what's gonna happen? Why did he do this to us? Everyone, and there were so many like little details for each character, where like with their like Duck Hunt, like the duck wasn't just flying away; he wanted to bring his buddy with him.
Yeah,
Sonic slowed down to help Pikachu.
that was great little detail. I love that. It fits
Solid
Sonic's
Snake was
character.
trying to hide in a box.
He tried. he really tried.
That just cracked me up when I saw that. Everyone's like running for their lives, and you just see a box. Look, it would be funny if you actually survived that. That's like, just imagine.
So, okay, so yeah, I love the first reveal trailer so much because they knew the right order to announce everybody in. Basically, as soon as they show Snake's coming back, that's how you know they're all in on the "everyone is here" line. And the fact that didn't get
literally everyone.
the fact that did not get spoiled before E3 is utterly amazing. Because I don't know if you guys recall, the entire roster for Smash 4 was leaked like a month before it came out in Japan. And
somebody
it was
got fired for that shit.
Oh, absolutely! It was It was at the ESRB. It's the famous ESRB Smash 4 leak, and it was kind of disappointing, but it was also kind of interesting to see people ahead of time. Like, oh, Dr. Mario's here. What? But
Everyone is here.
yeah, and the fact that did not remotely leak is honestly amazing, and kudos to Sakurai and his team. For
Keeping that from us.
For not just from us, but keeping people from leaking it. That's gotta be hard to not leak shit that people are excited about.
Also, I just like how Shulk just saw the future. He's like, there's nothing I could do.
Oh yeah, in the World of Light trailer.
Yeah, he's like this, and then like Link just tanks some of those hits.
Yeah, Link took some of those hits like a boss. Good for him. And then he died.
He got
Everyone
overpowered.
died except Kirby because Sakurai can't stop playing favorites.
It's like.
But
Realistically,
Years after he left
After
HAL
a while.
Laboratory, he still can't stop playing
Realistically,
favorites.
at that point,
You know
he was the only
who
one that
did
could have
that?
survived.
You know who didn't though?
Who didn't die? Yeah, so
We gotta talk.
yeah, they made a Sans costume for the Mii Gunner, and here's the thing.
Throw it up.
What I love people have been mentioning is that it's technically the first 3D official model of Sans. That's really weird that it's in Smash Brothers of all places. And see, this is also, I keep saying it, Smash Brothers should be the culmination of every possible game franchise, even just in Mii fighter costumes. And that's why I love them so much. I want to buy all of them someday, even though I can't right now because I'm broke, but that's okay, later. We're all broke. We'll be broke. Everyone is broke.
Everyone's broke. That should be the new world's franchise.
The New World of Light campaign.
No. Smash Brothers, we're all broke. That's the title.
We're all broke. We can only put Mario in the game.
Like, Mario's in the game, and it's about Mario being broke as a plumber.
He
They
just
fired him because he wasn't doing it.
He's just trying to pay his rent.
Peach leaves
Lord knows Peach ain't helping him with
Oh,
that.
Peach
Peach-
is like,
of course.
Peach just cuts all ties with him.
It's like Mario, who I
Bowser just like gets tired of the whole villain
Yeah,
act.
Bowser's like, sorry Mario, you're broke now. I can't fight
Luigi
you
just
anymore.
prospers and leaves Mario.
Oh yeah,
behind.
Luigi's got his nice old mansion. He's set. He's fine.
And like Mario's just homeless.
That I love that idea for a game. We're gonna make it.
Mario's broke.
But yeah, what were we talking about a second?
Sans.
Oh, Sans, right. Here's the real best thing. Not only is it the first official 3D model of Sans, not only is Sans and Undertale representation found its way into an actual Smash Bros. Game, it also includes a remix of Megalovania,
Oh,
and I'll say it.
good.
I'll say it
Very,
here.
very good.
It's better than the original, in my opinion. You can fight me on that. The original has its merits, but I love this one. Incorporates a lot more
1v1
instruments,
Sans versus Sans.
and there are moments where 1v1 me Sans. Final Destination, no items. Sans only.
Sans only.
But no, the remix of Megalovania is fantastic.
Oh, it
As
gets you
for all
hyped.
the music in
Like it
the
hypes
Smash
you up.
Ultimate
Oh, the
music.
sound.
I love the way that it came about too. Like Sakurai and Toby Fox were just like
They were
just having some drinks in there, and Sakurai was
fun.
like, "Yeah, you're pretty cool.
Yeah,
Let's
you want
put,
to
let's put your fans' favorite character."
you want to come play Smash
this
Bros at
game.
my house? And Toby Fox is like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that's what happened. He went to Sakurai's house and they played Smash Brothers together. And they even were having fun on the ride to the airport. Sakurai was driving Toby to the airport or something, I think was what he said. And it's just great to hear they got along so well. And that's amazing that even little indie game Undertale, which granted isn't really little anymore, it's kind of a big deal. But
That's
still,
fine, finished.
it's just amazing that that they got Sans in there as even a Mii Fighter costume. And that is, I'm not remotely upset by that, to be honest.
No,
That is
it's
the
like
one Mii
so
costume
fun.
I bought. So
When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, someone's memeing me. And then I actually saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh. The hype was real.
Oh, yeah,
Some people were mad.
That was the same day as Banjo-Kazooie came out, and some people were a little peeved that a Mii Fighter costume was taking a lot more center stage than the revival of Banjo and Kazooie.
Well, fuck those kids.
Oh.
You know, it's Sans. Like when he came out, like everyone was like.
The fact that he memed his way into Smash Brothers is amazing. That's great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, for the most part. Oh, I wanted to mention World of Light quickly. It's this game's adventure mode. Basically, as we mentioned before, the cutscene preceding all of it is everyone dies by Gleam, the Lord of Light, and Kirby's the only survivor. Your job is to basically just run through the World of Light, bring back as many fighters as possible, and fight in a series of spirit battles, which are basically sort of like a combination of previous adventure modes and also event modes from previous Smash Bros. Games, where you fight enemies with certain conditions or certain fighters in certain capacities and stuff. And I think it's really cool. The only problem is, I mean, it's more continued, almost random battles for Smash Bros. So if you like those, like I kind of do after a while anyway, you're gonna have a good time. But if you're
gonna have a bad time.
I was gonna say, if you don't like fighting random fights one after another and no actual adventure mode to it, you're gonna have a bad time. Get dumped on. But otherwise, I think it's fun. There are very few cutscenes compared to Brawl or anything, but they're very well made, and I like the very few there are of them. The story mode actually has 3 different endings, believe it or not, because at the very end, Gleam and his counterpart called Darkon are clashing and fighting and stuff, and you can either choose to fight one of them separately, or you can face them both head on, and each one gives you a different ending. Like if you beat Gleam, the world gets swallowed by darkness. If you beat Darkon, Gleam basically shines out the entire world. But if you beat them both, I think the world just implodes on itself. It's really unclear, but all the spirits are basically freed, and that's good, right?
Sure.
Oh no, they just don't exist anymore.
What you're telling me is that the God of Light and the God of Darkness no longer exist, and they are just entities that exist in the world, that light and dark live without beings that protect them? That doesn't make sense. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Alright, no, just all the characters become
Become what?
Gleam and
They
Darkon.
become believe. That doesn't make it.
They're the reincarnation of Thanos. Thanos is the next character.
I will say, yeah, Thanos from Fortnite.
Thanos Fortnite.
But I wanted to say briefly, because they not only did they bring back all the fighters, they brought back not all the stages. Sadly, there were a couple that got cut, but they brought back most stages from the franchise. And I gotta say, because the biggest difference is because the N64 ones pretty much look like slightly cleaner versions of their original counterparts. Apparently that was to keep their original look, but my money's on they didn't have the time and resources to make them all look HD beautiful. but the Melee stages really benefited from the HD upgrade. Like, they look... The first one that comes to mind is Peach's Castle. I don't know why, because that's like the first Melee stage in the game. And it looks great with the lighting and stuff. It looks realistic, the lighting and all that, and the sunlight and how it reflects off things and all that. I think that was great. Of course, the ones from Brawl got a bit of an upgrade, and the one from Smash Bros. 4 weren't so great. I love that the 3DS stages, they got an HD coat of paint, because they were only on the 3DS, and it was really nice of them to bring back as many stages as possible. There's a couple that did make the cut, and I kind of want to make a video on that someday, because some of them are really random that they were cut from the game.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. I just think it was really nice how they brought back so many stages, and they all look just beautiful. They look great, except the N64 stages. But again, that was on purpose, guys. Don't be ridiculous. Otherwise,
Yeah.
so they confirmed not only is there one more DLC fighter in the first fighter pack, they're going to make even more after that. So now I feel is the time to ask, gentlemen,
What is our wish list?
who do you want in Smash Bros? We can actually do two real quick. You can give me your one you want the most, and then give me the one you think is most realistically.
Realistically?
Yeah, actually start with the realistic one, because let's end on a dreamy, happy note. So give Skylar, who do you think, at least that you want, is the most realistic shot of getting into Smash Brothers in the future?
Oh gosh. Who am I? Because I wanna go somewhere like third party, but
Yeah.
that like another third party one is would kind of be like my dreamy one because
Okay.
that's like a big thing to do.
Okay, sure. Well, all the DLC fighters besides Piranha Plant, which was sort of like a bonus for buying the game day one, let's be real, all of them have been third parties so far, so I don't think it's outlandish. If it's just that they're third party or it's just the character themselves are outlandish, that's fine, but if it's just that they're third party, you don't gotta worry about that.
Well, since they put in like extra Fire Emblem characters, I guess I would say like pull some more from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Maybe pull a couple more characters from Final Fantasy. I don't exactly know who. But, I mean, it would just be really interesting to see instead of having Cloud just be there all alone.
Yeah.
But also, I'm feeling sentimental because that's memory.
Right. Are you getting that Final Fantasy VII remake when it comes out?
Don't worry about
it.
it. Don't worry about it.
I would like to see that happen just for the sake of more third-party representation, but the other thing is Square Enix has been very clear they're really iffy on Cloud being in Smash at all, because you get one character, you get one stage, and you get two music tracks, neither of which are remixes. It's like, they're really stingy. I don't know why they're being so stingy about what's allowed in Smash Bros. Maybe they're just big on not licensing their characters to, Big Papa Nintendo. But whatever. I would like to see it though. I like that. I think that's a good prediction. I don't think it's out of the question yet.
Yeah.
Possibly. Jonathan, what's your realistic prediction? Do you think who's like most likely?
Probably Crash.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. That would be beautiful.
I would love Crash Bandicoot and then Spyro. I would love Spyro to be Smash.
I think
if
they're both saying realistic.
Some crazy shit. Because they put some crazy shit in there already.
And then
Why not? Yeah, like why not put Crash Bandicoot in there?
and Sly Cooper, but I highly doubt that.
Okay. I would say you stole mine. My realistic hope was Crash Bandicoot, because they've been getting so many third-party characters, and I feel like they need to end the DLC pack on a big note.
Mm-hmm.
Banjo-Kazooie's probably that big note, and they already surpassed it, but I think they can end it on a good note with Crash Bandicoot. That it seems like a gimme, and if Nintendo's willing to work with Microsoft of all people, even in the live stream, they advertise the fact you can play Banjo-Kazooie on Xbox One. Go play it now. It's like, I'm sorry, what? Nintendo's telling me to go play the competition? But again, Nintendo and Xbox, they just do different things, and they've been good with working together, like with Minecraft and stuff recently. With the cross-platform, they've been really good.
Cross-platform has been, great. I hope that thing becomes bigger in the future, which I believe
Absolutely,
it
needs to. And I think Crash Bandicoot has a good chance because of the fact that both Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Nitro Racing... Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, I think it's called. Both of them are on Switch, and I think that alone is a good sign that Sony is at the very least willing to let their character exist on Nintendo platforms. We'll see if they will let them be in a Smash Brothers game where Nintendo gets most of the profit. But I think it's a
Yes.
That's my realistic one. Skylar, let's come back to you.
I would
Your
say
dream character.
My dreamy one, just because I love the games, and I know it's like a thing where like the first few games are like whatever, but I would love to see Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big
one.
one too. Yes, I would love that.
Like you get these, like, I don't even like. I can see this Final Smash right now, but I can't describe it. Like
The
it's
gameplay
just-
for Kingdom
Well,
Hearts.
Donald
is
and
fun.
Goofy join them and do one of their big attacks. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts, so big case that's not.
Oh
fair.
my
But
god,
they,
Kingdom
they have a lot of
Hearts is
team
so
attacks.
beautiful.
Oh,
I think you would like
Is the story
Dude.
beautiful though?
leave that alone. You leave Kingdom Hearts alone.
My favorite
That's a low blow.
For some reason, my favorite Kingdom Hearts game is Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, they're all really good. Like I would dead ass.
Chain of
buy-
Memories, Skylar.
Okay, no,
Chain
we
of
don't
Memories.
talk about that. We don't fucking talk about that one, okay? I tried to play it and I hated it so much.
Shut your whore mouth.
We'll play Chain of Memories someday for the channel. I'm calling it now.
Okay,
I'll make Skylar play it.
that'll be interesting to watch.
I would dead ass buy a Kingdom
I
Hearts.
still need.
I would do it.
I still
Buy
need
a
to play
Keyblade.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, because that's the newest one. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played all the other ones.
And they're making a
except-
DLC for it, right? Okay, that's cool. So Sora.
Sora.
Yeah, I think that one's. I see why you made that your dream one, because I don't know.
Not like
there hasn't
young
been a,
Sora either, like grown up Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts 3
There
Sora,
hasn't-
like
there
with a
hasn't-
badass black outfit and
Dude.
there hasn't been a Kingdom Hearts game on Nintendo since Dream Drop Distance
Riku.
in 2012 or 13 or something. I don't
Dream
remember when that came out. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see it too. Again, I'm of the type of let's get as many people, and especially third-party ones, in Smash as possible. So I mean, I'd like to see that absolutely. What about you, Jonathan? Who's your dream character?
One of them was Scylla. My actual other dream character, I know it's never gonna happen.
Well, that's the point of this. The dream character who you think might not have.
Minecraft Steve. I'm playing now.
Hey, he would fit.
I know
he
he
will.
would.
Minecraft's a big deal.
I know.
Make him a
Hero
a
Brian.
me swordsman.
No, I was about to say honestly, if they made him a meat swordman costume, I'd be okay. with
Yeah, that would be okay with that.
I'd be more than okay with that. That's cool.
What's one? It would be probably Ratchet and Clank.
Oh,
that'd be
yeah, that would be
interesting.
interesting.
Like
Yeah.
I love that game. It was like also one of the games I played a lot as a kid, and to see that in Smash, I could see the mechanics in it, but I'm not sure. I don't believe it's ever going to be added to Smash. That's the thing. That's my dream character. Or Jack and Dexter.
Yeah, that would be cool to see some of those guys. Another like pair character or pair set of characters come on. As for me, mine's actually a first-party Nintendo character, but because Nintendo likes to sort of leave some of their IPs dormant for a while and not give them any attention, this is an odd one. Chibi Robo, the little robot man. You don't know Chibi Robo?
Chibi Robo.
He's this little robot guy who was in a series. There was one on the GameCube, one on the DS that was only in Japan though, and then they made a platforming game for him, which I heard was not so great apparently on the 3DS called Chibi Robo Zip Flash. But he's this little robot that basically his job is to tidy up the house, clean it up a while. He has like this little plug that he pulls around with him because he has to get plugged into a wall every now and then. Yeah, he's a cute little robot guy, and it's so outlandish. I feel even though it's first party because Nintendo doesn't really care about Chibi Robo. Again, his first game was the GameCube one, and then I think it was GameCube anyway. And then they made a DS sequel, but it was Japan exclusive. And then ignoring for I want to say like 10 to 12 years or something until the 3DS where they made a platforming game. Not even a sequel to the previous game. A brand new platforming game, which is apparently mediocre. It would be cool to see him in the game because it's another Nintendo IP that would just be... He could be another kind of like Wii Fit Trainer, sort of a question mark character, like why are they here? I think it would be really cute though. I think it would be cute to see a new or an old Nintendo character brought back into the limelight just for a little bit.
You know what I might switch my realistic character to now that I'm thinking about it?
Yeah.
I would say Shadow. Like, don't make him an Echo Fighter of Sonic, but like...
Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yeah, but like, make him his own thing.
Dude,
where
I'd love
like his
to-
final smash is just a big fucking block.
I would love... Well, I don't know about that.
I mean, they
no.
do it with Bayonetta, so I mean, just make his final smash a
There's
huge
the Shadow
fucking
game.
block.
Just the Hedgehog. I would love that. The only reason I think it's not likely is just because he's already an assist trophy. And I sort of, for personally, ruled out anyone who's an assist trophy. That's why I would say Waluigi, because so many people do want him. But he is an assist trophy. And I kind of get the impression that Sakurai just wanted to put as much anything into this game as possible, as much game into this game as possible. So just, yeah, I get the mentality of take all the assist trophies that are already in Smash Wii U, bring them in, and then add more fighters on top of that. So I wish he was... That you know what? Then maybe that's my other dream one. Waluigi. I wish they would just, I don't know, keep,
Like,
Replace-
acknowledge the fans.
replace him with like, I don't know, Robo Waluigi or something. or I don't know, the assist trophy. Replace him with Robo Waluigi and put Waluigi in the game. I would say if Waluigi ever makes it to Smash, it'll be in the next one where they only have like 20 fighters or something. Which Sakurai already said if he even directs the next Smash Bros, there's probably going to be significantly fewer fighters, which is fair. I think for the next one, they probably just got to kind of dial it back and focus on maybe 20 to 30-ish characters.
Having this many characters, and especially third-party characters that they're bringing, in, probably cost a lot.
I'm sure it is, but they're getting a lot of money for it. But yeah, Smash Brothers it's a phenomenon. It's a fantastic thing, and I'm glad I got to go on this little sentimental journey with you, gentlemen, on Smash Brothers. Should we make predictions for the next game? I'm kidding. Honestly, although actually, I'm kind of curious. I want to actually now that it's coming to my mind, and we can squeeze a few more minutes out of it. Do you think, even though because Sakurai says almost every game is the last one, do you think he'll come back for the next one? Because there will be another Smash Brothers on a new Nintendo console. Like Thanos, that's inevitable. Do you think he'll come back for it to direct it again, or at least lend a helping hand of some sort?
Maybe.
I mean,
he'll definitely help.
He'll definitely help, most likely.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like at this point he's been directing so much. I think he doesn't want it to go off the rails.
But it already has. They put Joker in the game.
you never see it coming. I think he's gonna help in a way, but I'm pretty sure he won't direct it.
Okay.
If he directs it, that'll be fine and all that. But I feel like making a new one after doing Ultimate, it's gonna be very stressful at this point.
Yeah, you know what? I could see that now. I was gonna say I don't think he'll come back at all, but I'm gonna change my answer to sort of agree with you guys because it makes sense that they would want to get a new director in because I don't know. I don't want to say reboot because that's not the right word to use, but sort of reinvigorate the series by dialing back to fewer fighters but focusing more on them and their balancing and bringing in more new modes and stuff. Because I would say that's the only flaw Ultimate has is despite the fact they added classic mode is back and there is an adventure mode, but it's a little one note of just fight after fight after fight. They did add in the stage builder and home run contest in future free updates, which I appreciate. Kind of wish they were there from the beginning, though, because they were there for every other Smash game, but whatever. But despite that, I can see them, in the future focusing on more modes, and Ultimate didn't have a huge amount besides fighting. Again, that is why a lot of people play Smash, so it's fine. But I think for the next one, I can easily see Sakurai helping out with a new director, giving him an idea of where to go and how to not, destroy the entire franchise with one new installment for the Nintendo Switch XL 2.0 new 3DS edition. I could see that happening, honestly. I mean, I think it would also be kind of poetic if this is it, because there was a Japanese Game Awards the other day, and one of the things Sakurai said, because Smash Ultimate won a bunch of awards, he said, not to get a personal here, but Smash Bros. Ultimate was my very last assignment from Satoru Iwata, who was, as you recall, president of Nintendo before he passed away in 2015, which is, amazing how far back they were planning that game. I think it was 2015. Oh, I hope I got the year right. I'm pretty sure it was 2015. Iwata passed away. Rest in peace. I think it would almost be fitting if this was Sakurai's last Smash Bros. Game in a way. Like the final mission from not Sakurai, he is Sakurai. From final mission from Satoru Iwata, I think that'd be fitting. Now I have to ask, how many years do you think before we get that forget the idea of a new Nintendo console. Let's just assume whenever the game comes out, that's when the new one is. How many years before you think there's a new Smash Bros. Game?
It's gonna be quite a while.
I think it's like 2, 3, 4 years.
I think it's gonna be.
I think that's too short.
No, I think it's gonna be another big. I think it's gonna be another big gap like there was between Brawl and Wii U.
I think it was bigger between Melee and Brawl, right? 7 years, right? I don't know.
I think it was
6 years between Melee and Smash.
Actually, it probably would be 6 or 7 years.
I think
because at this point,
Melee was 2001.
At this point,
Brawl was
Ultimate
2008, and Smash Bros. And Wii U was 2014.
Okay, yeah. So, but there's still pretty long waits between titles. And Ultimate, give credit where it's due. Ultimate did this much with half of the weight, almost half the weight between Melee and Brawl, and there's a lot to do with this game.
I think we just gotta hold out hope from now.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be as big as Ultimate, but I mean.
Yeah, and we can't expect that.
For what it is, it's okay.
It's like kind of not to make it another Avengers analogy, but it's like Avengers. After seeing movies like Infinity War and Endgame, you can't necessarily expect future Marvel movies or superhero movies or even just Avengers movies to compare to them because they're not necessarily supposed to be. They're supposed to, in the case of Ultimate,
like a long build up to that.
yeah,
You can't just,
Ultimate.
like-
Ultimate has the advantage of basically taking everything that exists in the series or every character in most stages and putting them all in one great package. And for a console like the Switch, which is hopping right now, like Hot Pockets, not Hot Pockets, like hot case. You know what? Hot Pockets are pretty popular, right?
Yeah, Hot Pockets are pretty
It's not
good.
entirely.
Everyone eats. Well, not everyone, but mostly
A lot of people.
everyone I know.
The point
eats
is,
Hot
the Switch is a
Pockets.
hopping console and it's portable
They're
and
just
stuff.
expensive.
It's a great combination to put Smash Bros on the system.
Mhm.
And I am so glad that we could bond over such a great series of games.
Well,
Put Chibi Robo in Smash, Sakurai, or I'll find you. I'll find where you sleep and make you suffer.
Put Sakurai in Smash.
You already came with the
Sakurai.
Mii Fighters.
No, the actual, like, just the actual life
He's just
model.
it's just Sakurai.
Like, instead of, like, being 3D animated, it's actually just a picture of him.
It's a JPEG, a
Yeah.
very very poor
Like,
pixelated JPEG of Sakurai.
what was the game? Picture.
Photo Dojo.
Photo
On the
Dojo.
DSi shop.
Yes. We should play that.
Oh my, that's a fun. Well, you know what? If we ever get a DS capture card, we will play. What's it called?
We just-
Photo Dojo for the channel.
well, Jonathan, since you're our guest,
Yeah.
do you wanna close us out? You can do any closure
Do
you
you
want.
want? Do you want
From our typical Goodnight Gamers to
Oh, also,
to anything.
do you want to plug anything like your social media, your channel, or anything?
We'll throw it in this.
You guys
Yeah,
can
we'll put that in
go
the description as well.
description. I'm gonna be making a YouTube channel soon. I have no
Yeah.
idea what I'm doing with that yet, but you know, when it comes out, it's gonna come out. So follow me on my social media. It'll be in the link in
What
the
social
description.
media?
That's about it.
Great.
That's all I'm sharing.
Jonathan Gonzalez on Instagram, right?
Oh no, it's Johnny, not again.
Oh, sorry.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description, but you have it here too.
Give us a good closing,
So,
Jonathan. No
guys,
pressure.
I'm checking out of the Gamer Hotel. Good night, gamers.
It's not the Gamer Hotel.
It's not, no.
This is the. I'm
I'm
checking out of the console.
You know what? No. You know what? No. You're getting a dishonorable discharge from the console commanders. Have a wonderful life.
I'm gonna shoot you guys.
Good night, gamers.
God,
Good night.
You're an asshole. Let me fucking finish this, guys. I'm quitting. I was never really hired, but I'm leaving the headquarters. You know, I'm leaving because this is my last mission. Hope you guys had a nice night.
I never want him here again.
Yes, he does. You can see their faces.
Good night, gamers.